So now let's look at building some views and dashboards. So let's take one of those sample saved data sources which comes with Tableau and create one of the dashboards, which would actually give us a lot of insights into the sales and various different measures that you would want to track, right? So let's go and then connect to the superset sample data. I'm going to use this connect to data, and I'm going to say Excel, then we'll say Superstore sales. Now you see on the left side here, you see different tables. So basically, what Tableau is doing here is, it's showing you that, okay, you have these three tables. Now, what do you want to do? Which table do you want to connect to? So what we can do is just select one of that and drag it over to here, right? Okay, now I say okay, and then there's a new feature over here in Tableau, which displays the data on the bottom half here. Okay, so let's say, okay, I'm gonna continue with the live connection, and I'm gonna say go to worksheet. Okay, so we've seen all these things earlier, how to connect to data, and then how Tableau identifies what's a measure, what's a dimension, and all those things. So now let's start at looking at what measures do you want to see, do you want to track. So in the first place, when if I have a store or a business that I'm running and I have some sales, so the first thing that I would like to know is how is my sales. So let's now start building views around the sales measure. Okay, so we have the sales here, and then we have various dimensions that we can do our reporting on. So let me do something like, okay, I have this state information. So now now I'm gonna need to know what am I selling and which area, or in which state or province, and then what are my tab categories. There are lots of different dimensions that we can now use in this from this data. So now let me just double click here on the state. So now you see, as we as we've seen earlier, just double clicking on any of the geographical information, Tableau very intelligently identifies that this is that I need to draw a map for this information, which is the best representation of whatever data that I've selected. And also, we've already seen that Tableau has generates this latitude and longitude, and then it plots this graph for us, basically the map for us. So let's now go, and I'm going to just change the map option. I'm going to go for a normal. Okay, it's cool. So now what it's done is it's just created these dots over here, which means those are the states that we're going to draw our insights from. Okay, so let's do something. Let's now change it to a pie. Okay, so I've changed this to a pie, the mark to a pie, and then let me bring in customer segment into the color. Okay, so now you see that, okay, each of these dots or circles over here is being split based on the customer segment, colored based on the customer segment. But we need to also know how to split it further, in terms of how do we get to know how my sales is happening, so in these areas. So what I'm going to do is drag this sales and put that into the size, and also I'm going to drag it and put it into the angle, right? So now you see that each of this pie is now having colored and also different sizes of slices. Okay, so now let me just go and just format it a little bit. Go to the colors. I'm going to bring down the transparency a little down, and then I'm going to border it so that it's to yeah, yeah. And what I'm going to do is increase the size a little bit so that it's more visible. Yeah, there you go. So now you have a map on the United States with a lot of different states, and then we have this information where um, you can see by the slice of the pie, the size of the slice of a pie, which customer segment is selling the most in each of the states. So that's something that's nice view that we have So we can start off with this, and then we can build some more views. For example, now I want to see what are my best-selling subcategories, right? So, gonna, okay, so what I'm gonna simply do is just double click on this, and I'm gonna get all my subcategories listed here. I'm still on sales. I'm just looking at sales. I'm gonna drag this onto the columns. Now you see I get a bar chart, horizontal bar chart, which works fine for me now. So I'm just gonna do a sort it. Okay, now I've sorted it, but I might have a requirement to know, okay, office supplies, what category does it belong to? So I have another column called product category. So I'm going to just drag that onto the colors. So now I know that office supplies doesn't really come in one of as my top sales at all. So it's the top is technology, and the second is furnitures, and again we have some technology in furniture sales, and then comes the office supplies. So this tells me that okay, so that office supplies is probably something that I need to look into, or probably not, because I know that it is still a small business that I have, so I'm not going to be selling much in that anyway. So, but whatever it is, so this gives you some insight. So now this is telling me that what's selling the most, and from which which subcategory is selling the most, and which um, product category does it belong to. Okay. So, okay, these are good insights. And generally, whenever I'm running a business, I always want to know how is my sales been trending. So what's happening? What's happening over the years? How has it been? Am I doing better than last year, or am I doing worse than last year, or is it the same, or whatever? So insights that I might want to draw. So that's some very important insights that anybody should be drawing. So let me just go and create another sheet where I'm going to include the order date. So we take the order date. I'm just double clicking on it. Then I'm going to drag the sales onto the rows. All right. So what you see now is a discrete date that's appeared over here. Okay, year of date basically. Okay, so now you're seeing 2009, 10, 11, and 12 aggregated sales and how it's trending. So this is great. I mean, we could have this information with us, but then I might want to know how the sales has been, in each of my months across these different years. So what I can do is I can actually expand this. So this is one way, because we're having discrete dates over here. You can do this, you can just expand it to the months and these things. But these views doesn't really look all that intuitive for me. So I'd rather um, not use this quarter and year. I'm just gonna take it out. Just have my months. So just create month over here. This is cool. Okay, so now let me do something. Now let me just bring my order date and then drop that into the colors. So now what you're saying is my monthly sales for over the years, and split. I mean monthly sales split by the years. So we have a one line each for a year. So now this gives you an idea of how my sales generally happens throughout the year. So which a month actually I sell more. There might be some trends, there might be some seasonality that you might want to see. You might see, so generally in November I sell less, except with the exception of 2011 where I've sold more compared to the other months. Okay. So yeah, so now you found some seasonality. So now say, okay, great. This is how my sales is trending. So that's a nice insight. Now I can see and go drill down and do some further analysis. So just see why it's been November my most least selling. In fact, the least selling month. Okay, so these are the different insights that you could draw. So that's cool. So now we have three little views that we've created. So. And okay, yeah. Let's come back to this one and see. I mean, this probably like you're using the same similar kind of coloring scheme in the customer segment and in the product category. So probably we might want to change it. So how do we do it? It's pretty simple. And just go here, click on edit, and just choose choose a different palette. And I'll just say this and design palette. Okay, so this is something that you can do, right? So this probably is one of the or if you don't like this, okay, you can go ahead and again change this. I'm gonna use another one for technology. I'll probably use this for nice, right? Okay, so now we have a three views ready. So let's now build the dashboard. So let's go and click on here. So this is a dashboard. This is a page. This is where you really design and create your dashboard. So let's now um, just again look at these layout containers. These are the ones that you would generally be using to design how you wanna yeah, how you wanna line up your different sheets that you've created, different views that you have created independently. You know, so you've got to put them all together. You can always make use of these layout containers. So let's do that. You know, let's use a vertical layout container. Just drop it here. I'm going to double click this view here. So now you saw the double clicking brought in this view, which is of the map, into this dashboard, and it's taken up the whole area. So that's because I don't have anything else on this dashboard. So let me just drag this sheet here and then put it here. So now you see, whenever I'm dragging this, you know, it will always show a blue line, you know, which is a border, which tells me that where within which container is this going, you know. So now I know whether it's here, it's within this container, wherever it's bordering. Okay, so let's just drop it over there. Yep. So there you see now, it's just because we had used a vertical container. Whenever I drag this, and it's gonna put it into a below or above the other charts. Okay, so let me just do something. You know, so I have this other view also, so which I want to bring in. So how do I do it? So I can actually bring it in somewhere in the middle, but I don't think that would be a nice way. So instead, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pull in a horizontal container and then just drop it here. So the horizontal container has come between these two. So now I'm just going to drag this and then put it here into this container, horizontal container, and I'm going to drag the other sheet as well. So I'm going to put it here on the right, or probably on the left, right? So you see this, and it highlights where is it going. So it's now highlighting the bottom, which is now highlighting bordering uh, the chart on the bottom half, and then it's showing me where exactly is it going. It's on the left right now, and near the sheet you can see that there's a shaded area which is telling that's where it's gonna go now if I release my mouse. Okay, yep. So there is a, so let me just now organize it, portrait. Okay, so this is how you just really pull things into a dashboard and put them all together, and based on the kind of layout that you desire, you can design it. You know, so let me just let me just do a couple more things here. You know, so now, what if I don't think, I have wide enough dashboard? I just want to increase it. So I can just go here, just increase it. Okay, this looks okay for me now. So yeah, great. So this is one way you can do it, and then I don't probably need such a and so much of height, and so I just can reduce it a little bit. Yep. Okay, allows me to do that. This brings it down. So now you see here that, okay, I just increased a little bit of the height on this sheet over here, and it's brought this um, scroll bar for my sheet too, which I don't really like. So what can I do for that? And so it's pretty simple. I just go here and say fit fit entire view, or I can say fit height. In this scenario, I'll just say fit entire view. So it's gonna arrange itself in such a way that it fits the entire view, and we don't get a scroll bar. So this is again depending upon what kind of data do you have, what kind of graph do you have, and how big it is. So you can always play around these things and get the desired design. Cool. So now we have this dashboard that we put together. So let's just change these names. Sheet 2, sheet 3 doesn't really make too much of sense. So let's go back here and rename these. So what is this? So this is sales by state, right? And customer segment. Yep. And then the second sheet is sales by subcategory. Okay, and the third sheet is, it's nothing but sales by month. Okay, so now I have, so you see automatically the names of the sheets change over here, and it gives now more meaning than just saying sheet 1, sheet 2, or sheet 3 right now. So let's now go back to this dashboard and then just give a name to this dashboard as well, saying let's call it sales dashboard. Okay, so now we have the sales dashboard, and now let's do something over here. Now just give it a title. Now see the sales dashboard also comes up here. Okay, so that's cool. So I probably need to little increase the height a little bit. Okay, so that it looks good. Okay, cool. So there you have, we have a dashboard, but still it doesn't look complete, because we have our legends, which is on all on this side, and we don't really know which one belongs to which one. If you really, you probably need to analyze a little to understand what is it, which one should go where. So let's do something, let's look at this option of Tableau's legend, or any object that you put on the dashboard that you can make as floating. So this is a cool feature. So just make it floating, and then just drag this guy here, and then place it here. So now you now you clearly know that, okay, this legend is for this map here. And I don't think I need the sales, the size legend, because I can pretty much understand that, okay, the bigger the bubble or the pie, the bigger is my sales, right? And okay, and now we've taken care of this one. What about my other two legends? I can do the same actually. So there's something that I can do. So what I can do is I can just drag this guy, and since we have a horizontal layout here, I can just drop this guy here and then say, okay, this belongs to this, right? Yeah, it looks good. It's okay, but then it's got a lot of empty space over here, which is looks to me like a waste of space, just of real estate on the dashboard. So I can actually convert this again into a floating object. Then I can drag this guy somewhere here. Okay, let me just put it for now over here. Okay, this again depends, right? I mean, if you don't have it today, the data is this way, and the data may change, and you might have lines coming all over here, and then you might know it might not be a right way to place it. So again, it's all based on your dashboard. These are different ways the Tableau helps you do it, so you can, so that you can go and help yourself with these different layouts. So let me just convert this as floating as well, and then drop it here, right? Okay, so this one looks cool, because I've sorted it in descending order, and I don't think there's going to be too many bars coming till here, right? And then let me just increase size here. Yeah, now let me do another thing, so okay, so as I said, it probably isn't a great idea to bring this just bring this legend over here, because it doesn't uh, it would actually mess up the view. So let me do something, and I'm just going to remove this now for now, and then let me bring this dashboard back, so dashboard tool back, so let me just grab uh, a vertical layout container and then just put it here. Okay, and I'm gonna put this chart of mine into that vertical container, and then I'm gonna bring in the legend again, color legend. All right, so now it's come up. Sorry, I don't want it from this sheet. I want it from this sheet, which is the sales by month. Yeah, so it's come up here, right? So let me just grab this and then bring it here, and since now we have a vertical layout container, I'm able to put it over here, and then see now. So like I have this, you can plan it this way, wherein your legend comes below this, and you have organized it in a single row instead of column, so that it comes up over here underneath under your chart, and then represent the different years, so that works as well. So again, what I'm showing here is different ways of doing some things placing legends and other things, so this is again a floating. I placed it over here, and that works fine for me, right? So, so now this looks like a good one dashboard um, where I have this information over here. So I'm giving you the sales information by state and the customer segment, and also I have the sales by month, and also I have the sales by subcategory. So let me just clean this up a little bit. I don't need this the header because I know what it means. I know what the legends are for, so I can make a minimum uh, text on my graph and charts. So this looks okay now. So let me just now the second thing that you can do to make it a little better looking is basically have some formatting, around this form the titles. And so this is how you would do it. Right click over here, format the title, just give some border. Right, you can just give some border, give some shading. So you can do a shading slightly light darker, and then you can also edit the title over here. Right, you can format the title over here and just give it some borders as well if you want. It's a border, or you can just just give it some border, and then you can again shade it with a lighter shade. You can do the same thing here. You just quickly do that. Go here. Let's do this. Okay. So now we have this dashboard set up. We just go to the presentation. So we have this here now. So this gives me a good view of my sales now, which is for based on the states. My state, yes, sales by the state, and then by month, and also by the subcategory. So this is a cool dashboard which we built within a few minutes. Now let's bring some interactivity within this. So how does Tableau help us get interactivity within this? And that also is very coolly and very easily done. So all that I need to do is just go here and then click this use as filter. So now I have included in my dashboard some interactivity, which is going to say, okay, these are my sales by state and customer and the customer segment. So let me see how was the sales over here for this particular customer segment, which is corporate, and in the state of California. How was it? How was the sales by month, and what were the different subcategories that I sold? Right. So I just click on this, and it shows me this information. So all this information over here has got filtered based on what I've selected. So you saw how easy it is to build this first dashboard and create interactivity within this dashboard, and then bring up this nice little view, which is actually showing me all the filtered information based on just what I click over here. So again, click is not just, filtering is not just by clicking, you can actually select the whole area over here, and then if you want, you can see this thing gets filtered by again what we selected here. Okay, so this is a nice way of creating a dashboard, a quick dashboard. So what we've done here is basically a sales dashboard. Um, we have just created that and then showed some insights as to how my sales is spread across my country, and then also how my sales are um, trending over the months over different years, and then also what are the best selling subcategories, and what are the best selling categories, as well. So so this is nice. We created a dashboard here, and then came up with this view. So what if you want to create another dashboard, which is for now we are looking just at the sales measure, so probably we should also look at the profit, right? The profit is the most important thing. Sales is of course it's important, but it's for profits that you are really doing this business. So if you're running into business, you are into then it's of course you need to be making good profit as well. So let's look at that. So let's go back here, and then let's click on the new sheet, and then let's look at how what we can do with the profit, with the, yeah, profits basically. So yeah, so there are different ways you can again look at your profits. You want to, so let's look at how we can see the correlation between sales and profit, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this show me up over here, and then I'm going to click on my sales here, and then I'm going to control and click my profit. So it shows me that okay, I'm going to do a scatter plot is the best way to represent this information that I've selected, right? I mean, so okay, it should give me a scatter plot. So we've seen earlier, how scatter plots help us in finding out the correlation, and so now it's telling me that okay, the more sales, the more the profit. Again, this is at a very high level, which is aggregated to my organization. So let me just, I just want to probably like bring it to the customer name level, so I just split it like this, and then you have this now scatter plot which says each of this customer, and it tells me like what's his sales and what is his profit, or his or her profit, right? Okay, cool. So this one looks nice. So let's do a let's again, probably just make change them up to circles, and then do some transparency here, and then just add a little bit of border. Let's increase the size a little bit, right? And then I want to see so what's the profit and sales. I have the profit and sales, I have the customer names, so I just want to know probably uh, what subcategory or what ship mode do they use. So I'm just gonna drag that dimension into this mode. So now you have, so most of my delivery is happening based from on the delivery truck. Okay, and there are lots that happen in express air as well, but it's pretty much less compared to the other two ship modes. So this again gives you an idea of who's the which one is the best like which customer is giving you the most sales and the most profit, which obviously is seems to be this customer called Emily, right? And the ship mode is regular air. Okay, so it's something, it's a nice feature to know, nice information basically. So also I can have my sales. What if I want to again look at sales as well along with my profits? What do I do? I can actually go ahead and draw the same. Probably I'm gonna look at it at uh, instead of at the product subcategory or something. I might want to look at it at a customer segment level again. So I'm just gonna drag this customer segment onto the view, and then pull the sales onto my columns and fill. I mean, and then sort it by the sales. And now what I can do is I can simply bring in the profit into the colors. So now this tells me that okay, look at this guys, um, the corporate segment, customer segment guys are actually giving me a lot of business, and also are making a lot of profit for me, right? But if you if you look at this, let me just try to change the colors a little bit here. I think this is fine. Okay. Okay. So probably what we can infer from here is that okay, customer segment, that's great. It's actually selling the highest. Corporate is selling the highest, and also it's giving me the highest sales. So home office is of course my second largest selling segment, and it's also my second largest profit making. But it's not the case with consumer, which is my third largest selling, but it's not the third largest profit making. Which it actually is this small business, which is probably I'm selling less but making more profit. So that's the kind of insight that I get into this, that I get from this. So this is something that I can also include in our dashboard. Okay, so this is something that we can do. And then what if now we've included a lot of charts and bars and things like that. So what if I want to just show some you know, grids as well, so I can say make a cross tab of this, and this it shows me the sales and profit per customer segment. Okay, so what if I want to now include some more information as to what subcategories, are they, so I can just create something like this. Okay, probably I let me not add so much of information here. So I have a customer segment. Let me just go to the category itself, not at the subcategory. Okay, I have this small little grid which tells me which or, under each customer segment, which is the product category and what is the profit and sales that's being used. Okay, so now uh, let me do something here. So let me just format this grid, so we can see how to do that by coloring this. I mean, I'm sorry, by giving some row dividers and some borders. Yeah, column dividers. Okay, so get that. So we just have this information. So you can also give it. So just give this information. Give this uh, border, and then you can, if you want to format these, just increase the size, font, and all that things. You can do that. So on the header here, just click on format, just increase this, right? Okay, so this seems to be okay. And if you want to do some row banding, so you can do that as well. So let me just do a row banding here and I'll just give this color here. And let me just give the same to the header as well, right? Yep. Probably I should give some dividers, right? Okay, so this looks like a nice grid. So nice. So let's do something here. Let's now create another dashboard which says profit dashboard. Okay, so now let's go ahead and rename these things, so it's just sales. Let me call it sales versus profit, and let me call this one again profit by customer segment. And then let me call this grid. Okay, just call it grid. Okay, now let me look at this. Okay, I'm already having the sales bar chart in my sales dashboard. Now what if I want to actually do it by sales? I want to plot the sales as the bar chart and then color it by, I mean, I want to plot profit as my bar chart and then color it by sales. Can I do that? Yes. So if there is any need of such kind, it's pretty simple. Just just grab the profit, just overwrite it here, right? And grab the sales and then put it over here. Okay, so now you see this. And what if I don't want to do it by customer segment, and probably I want to do it um, by, let me say, some other dimension, which is like a, okay, I would do the product subcategory itself. What if, so there you go. So okay, so my sales is high in tables, but then my profit isn't that great. Okay, right? So this is the highest selling, highest profit making, and also highest, probably the highest selling because of the dark green color. Right, so there's a lot of flexibility that Tableau gives you, so that you can actually do a lot of different things with the color, add different dimensions, and then different measures into the colors. So you can also do, if I don't want to, okay, this is a profit dashboard, I don't want to bring sales into this one, this particular report over here, I don't want to do that. So you can actually just control and grab this sales profit and then just put that into the color. So now you're doing it plainly by profit. You're just coloring it as well as sizing the bars based on the profit. So this is another thing that you can do. No? Just go, just bring really make it stepped and then bring down the steps so that you don't have those gray areas. Now you have either light gray, light green, dark green, and then you have this red or red color. Again, you can just get this profit information, grab that into the and put that into the label as well. You can do that. Very easy. So, and if you don't like the way it looks, just go here, uh, say format, and then you can just change the numbers in the paint to say standard, custom, standard, or whatever. So you just don't, I don't need, I just need one decimal, and then negative just said show me in parentheses, right? So different things you can do, right? Great. Okay, so now let's rename this now. So let's call it profit by subcategory again. Okay, so now we have our profit dashboard here, and we don't have anything pulled into it yet. So let's start by pulling in the let's start by pulling in probably the profit by. I mean, let's do this scatter plot on the top, right? So we have this scatter plot. Again, we didn't grab any of these layout containers, and we just clicked on that, and then it started with um, filling this dashboard with this one particular view. Okay, so we can also again just go back if you didn't like that, and then just if you want to really go through this, just grab this, drop it here, and then grab this and drop it here again. And now I can grab the other dashboard, which is the profit by subcategory, and then put it over here. And then I'm going to grab this grid as well, and then put it here. And since if you realize, since we have taken the vertical uh, layout container right now, it's going to go to the go either on top or below this. So let me just put it here, and then I'm going to change it. So I'm going to actually grab a horizontal and then put it here, and then put these two guys into uh, inside this vertical horizontal, so that it takes up the space like this. Yep. So let's try fitting it. It's not really gonna look good, so let's just increase the width. Okay. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, I just don't want to put that, and then probably here scatter plot. I can actually convert this to floating and just grab it here and drop it over here. Yeah. So now you see there's a. So this is pretty similar to the view that we created earlier, but then we had the map instead. Now I have the scatter plot over here. Okay, and then I can again go and create this dashboard, and then go to the dashboard, show the title, profit dashboard, and then do all the formatting that we did earlier. Okay, so let me just quickly do that. Okay, so I'm only gonna do for this now. Okay, so now I feel what this whatever I have, it's probably a little too much of information here, and I don't want to really include everything over here. So what I probably want to do something different. So what I want to do is I would want to show only one of this at a time, right? So how can I achieve it? So there's one way of achieving it is parameters. So we've not looked at parameters till now. So in this dashboard, so let's look at a parameter, how to create a parameter, and then use that, right? So okay, so this is something that I don't want to do. I just don't want to show both these things, both these sheets together. Okay, fine. So let me just go back to the grid or any of these reports. Come here and say create a parameter. I'm gonna call it display, gonna say display a list, grid, or bar chart, right? Okay, so I have a grid or a bar chart. I have this display here, so parameter control. So I'm gonna grab any one of these dimensions that I'm not using really in this view. So it could be anything. So I'm just gonna drag that. So let me drag order priority. Just put it here, and then select all, and then go to condition, go to formula, and say display equal to grid. See, okay, right? Let's Let me now go to this other dashboard, other sheet here, and say do the same thing. So grab the order. I'll tell you why I did that. Just go to order priority, grab the put it in the filter, say use all, go to condition, by formula, right? And then say display equal to bar chart. See, okay. So now you see, now this is going to disappear, right? So it's now hidden because it's false, because the selection right now over here in the parameter is grid. So this condition becomes false in the filter, and then nothing gets shown over here. So let's go back to the dashboard. So now you see, now I'm not able to see the profit by subcategory. So let me just change a little bit of this layout. Let me let me change a little bit of this layout. So now you see, even in the dashboard, you don't see the profit by subcategory bar chart. That's because the parameter is saying show me grid, and then it's showing only the grid. But this is not how I want it to be showing. So what I would like to do actually is um, show either one of them, right? So I don't want to show even the header. So I would. These are within a vertical. These are actually within a horizontal layout container, correct? So now what I can do is I can just hide the title and then make it look like only the grid is being shown. Whereas actually you do have that sheet over here, but since I'm hiding the header, or the title, it's completely getting kind of hidden from the view. So I'm gonna hide the title for this as well, right? And then let me just bring the parameter here. So display. Okay, so I have this parameter, display parameter somewhere here, so I can actually make it floating, then grab it and put it somewhere here. So for now, we will change it later. Or I can just make it. I'm just gonna remove it, and then I can just bring it somewhere on top. No, I can just bring it here, right? So display grid or display the bar chart. There you go. Let's say okay. It is grid, and if I change it to bar chart, you see the bar chart. No? So this is kind of flexibility which you can actually use parameters to actually flip between a particular view or the other. So we can make use of parameters this way. Okay, and there is again another feature which we've not used, which is the basic quick filters, or filters basically. So let me just add that over here. So let's just go back to this sales versus profit, and then let's see how to add a quick filter. So now I have it by someone's sales and sum of profit by ship mode and customer name. So I'm just gonna add this region filter to this, and then say okay, add all, and then say okay. So this is one way of doing it. Or the other way is just go here and say we add quick filter. So we've done this, just done this. So okay, so we have this quick filter that we've created. Just go back to the page over here and then see that. let's bring this quick filter onto the dashboard. Quick filter. It's got it's got it pulled over here. So let's just move this on top. Let's make this floating again, and then just move it onto the top somewhere here, or have it as a, or rather we can actually have it as another one which just comes on top of this dashboard here, this sheet over here. So let's do that. Just grab that, just pull it on top of this, just drag it here, just drag it on top of this. Okay, so let's just change this again. We can look at different ways of how you can change it. No, I'm gonna do this. So it's gonna remain like a drop down, but I can actually do some multi selects over here. So I can just say, okay, just show me Eastern Central, and that just is going to apply on this one. So, right? So that's how we can actually use filters and then use parameters, and then also we saw in the earlier dashboard how to actually create this interactivity. So this just another one which you can, if you want to color and border your um, you border your quick filters. You can just go and say format quick filters, and then just say um, some kind of border, right? And if you want to do for parameters, even for parameters, you can actually go and do the same. Just go here and format parameters, and then just give some border to it. Okay, so this is about, and then also you can just create this is simple things, which is like a, if you want to draw a trend lines, you can do a trend line, and it shows 3 trend lines right now. I can just go and edit that trend line, and then say just one trend line, just have one trend line. So this basically will, you can also draw this statistical information from this trend lines. So you can have these filters over here, and then we use parameters to flip between views, which is one of the ways how you can use parameters. So let's go to the presentation mode and then see this. So you can actually flip between grid and bar chart, and then format the we have these filters, and then let's go back to this sales dashboard, and I'm gonna just show you one another thing, which is about how to actually just, if you want to select your containers, and then you want to give a border to each of these dashboards, each of the views in the dashboard. You can do that by selecting the container, and then you can say format container, and then just give a border to it. And these are all formatting features which Tableau gives you to make it, make your if you want to make if you want to include a lot of filters, and formats. You can, if you want to include borders and other things, you can do that. And let's now actually go and hide all the sheets, so that the workbook itself, when you open it, you should only be seeing the dashboards that you created. You don't necessarily need to see the sheets. So now we have this dashboard here, and then the second dashboard is basically the profit dashboard, where I'm showing a scatter plot, and also I'm showing a bar chart or a grid based on what I select in the parameter. Okay, so probably now as one last thing, what I can do is, just introduce another type of interaction, which is between um, dashboards. So that's when actions come into picture. So if you remember, earlier we just did this where we you clicked over here and asked it to use this filter. So basically, what it's done is it's gone and created a action over here. All right. So let me add another action, which is like a filter action. Then if I click on the subcategory, I want to navigate to the other dashboard, which is the profit dashboard, right? On select. Uh, just don't want to Just don't want to do any of these. I just don't want to do any filtering. I just want to navigate to that, and so just now it's available. can just click on it and it's going to take me to the other dashboard. So this is how you would actually create dashboards and bring in some insights out of whatever measures that you want to track, either sales or profit, and then um, create some interactive interactions, introduce some interactions, and then um, using filters, and how we saw how to use introduce interactions using filters, actions, and parameters.